welcome back to Love Always Self. I'm Shyra.
Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for being here today. I'm Karista, and welcome to Love Always Self.
Hey, spirit
Jazz
fingers!
hands.
They're jazz hands. Don't ask me why I
so,
do these things.
yeah, we've definitely been silly today, and I think that stems from what a great time we had last night. So, last night, Shira and I got to surprise one of our other girlfriends with dinner out. Well, her husband totally put it together, and we just showed up. But we have not seen her in, I think we've seen her once for brunch in the last 2 years because the
Yeah,
ish.
yeah,
And, it just, today we just woke up so happy and filled with love. And I think it just, we need to be reminded how important it is to connect with our friends. And
yeah,
I think that when we think about these things, being with the people that we love, that build us up, that we laugh with and share ups and downs with, we in a way, when we connect with those other people, we are connecting with ourself.
yeah. I agree. And by sharing your own light with others, you energize each other.
Mhm.
And so when you put yourself in a setting where you're having fun or you're playing or you're just conversating and getting maybe some things off your chest with your friends or whatever, like you're elevating yourself
Mhm.
and those around you. There's a reverb that takes effect, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So it was just fun because it was interesting because even my husband had said this when we got back in the car. He's like, we did normal things because that
Mhm.
was more normal for us over 2 years ago, right? So like,
Right.
and it just felt good to feel connected with our
Mhm.
friends again. And it was just exciting. And
And
it,
not just doing it over the phone, because yeah, we've talked to
right.
them, but being able to hug a person, oh my God. Like I just I miss that, frequent physical interaction
Yeah.
and just sharing the laughter in real time, in real time and in the same space. And this idea that we're connecting with self, it's like parts of ourselves that come out in different ways around certain people.
Yeah.
Not that
Agreed.
we're trying to be different around different people, but it's just when it comes to our friends, there's just this ease of transference of shared love and support.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk
Mhm.
about like as I like readjust to my seat and get all talky. So so let's talk about that about how building friendships and aligning yourself around people that really do lift you up
Mhm.
because there's been many times that I've, surrounded myself with people that didn't lift me up, you
Mhm.
know? And so it's important for us to have this community. It's important to build relationships that assist you in your character. And I'm not saying that every relationship you have needs to be a give and take and so on and so forth. It just naturally occurs in your
Mhm.
state of being. And that's something that, sometimes you learn that the hard way. Like,
Mhm.
what type of energies do you want around you?
Mhm.
But that's also something you can ask yourself at any given time, you know, are these relationships serving me for my highest and greatest good?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And not to say that you have to have beliefs that align, but it's
correct.
how we love and support each other.
Right.
The energetic exchange, the importance of having that respect and desire to be there for that person to elevate you and vice versa. But again, you don't have to be from the same background. You don't have to be from the same religious beliefs. You don't have to be from the same education base or financial base. It's this. just beautiful. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm just like,
It was like the knights at the round table last night.
yeah.
Let's just throw in some imagery here. Like, we were sat in, like, a corner at this beautiful, fancy restaurant, and the table was round,
Hmm.
and we even started I mean, we were laughing, but, like, even though some people were, like, across from each other from this round table, like, they were communicating, and then us ladies were, like, communicating while our husbands were
Hmm.
talking. So, it was, like, cross conversations happening, and, like, some
Hmm.
of it was, like, different completely different conversations, and then at times we would collectively have conversations,
Yes.
and, like, even just sharing our different opinions on, like,
Hmm.
certain more political
Topics.
topics, right? There was no animosity towards one another for having a
Hmm.
different opinion. We were just expressing the different opinions and where we come from. And it was a
And this opens us up to just other thoughts, seeing
Mhm.
different perspectives, even if we don't agree.
Right.
It's expanding our awareness, our love, our support systems. It's expansive.
Right.
And I think that these past 2 years have really given us an opportunity to appreciate those connections when we connect rather than um, taking it for granted.
Yeah.
God, I have missed seeing people. And, now even just struggling with those new acronyms, FOGO and PHONO. FOGO is fear of going out, and PHONO is fear of
Uh-oh.
normalcy.
I was didn't even know about those. What?
I don't know, something that came across my news feed. And it was like, I think at first, like I had thoughts of like little fear-based thoughts walking into the restaurant, but it was just so nice to be able to let those go
Yeah.
and just be with people that love each other.
Yeah. That was beautiful. It was a beautiful exchange, and it lasted for hours, and we
Mhm.
were all putting off such a good energy that even the staff was like, "We're not kicking them out. You guys stay and have as much fun as you want," you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And so
We were like the last table to leave. I think we shut the place
we
down.
did, we totally did. Which was just fun, you know? I mean, definitely a little tired today, probably saying, a lot, just no judgment here. And so but yeah, but it was still so worth, the effort that was put into making that event happen. And
Mhm. Mhm.
sometimes, I've done in the past, and I think we've talked about this, I can't remember, where I am like not in the mood to do something. And then I still go out and do it, and then it turns out to have been like one of the best decisions that I've made. But then there's also times where maybe my energy level is extremely low, and I can actually tell that while I'm out, I'm faking it so hardcore that other people are perceiving like what's going on with her, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's like kind of that. But yesterday I was just all about it. Like
Mhm.
I was excited. I was energized. Like I'm getting dressed. We're gonna go do this. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait. And so bringing that level, and I feel like all of us were on the same page with that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it just was just like this magnetism of like fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Jinx.
See, we're still on the same page. I love it.
So, I think as things start to open up, I think that it's absolutely okay if you still have a little bit of those fears and those doubts, and finding ways to enjoy other people where you're still comfortable doing so.
Right.
So you're not in that constant state of fear. And I hope that we start reaching out and reconnecting and re-energizing each other and lifting each other up in ways that we've missed these past 2 years. This disconnect, it's time to reconnect.
I have to tell you what keeps kind of popping in, and it feels like guidance while I'm receiving this. So somebody needs to hear this. And so one of the things that I'm just picking up right now is basically it's honing in on the word fear, right? We've been in a fear-based state for quite some time now when it comes to exchanging connections in person with others.
Mhm.
And by the act of just taking the leap of faith and going for it, it was in itself a step into overcoming your fears.
Mhm.
Now, am I saying that the sitch, that's happening is gone? No, I'm not. I'm not saying that at all. Is there a possibility that that could occur? Yeah, there is. But can you overcome your own fears to allow yourself to be more present in the moment and just live?
We're learning how to live with it,
Right. Right.
how to feel safe and be humans.
Mhm. Yeah. So bringing it back to the friendships, because I do also feel that there might have been a lot of, and I've even experienced this where I haven't connected with some of the friends that I used to have before this itch, right?
Mhm.
So there could be people out there that have also experienced losing quite a few friends, or maybe
Mhm.
they feel like they don't have any anymore, right?
Mhm.
Um, I just want to say to those individuals, what's the harm of just making a connection or just trying, right?
Mhm.
Is it the fear of rejection?
Mhm.
Sure. So that might be something you're facing at this time, that it's coming to your awareness because it's something you need to work on
Mhm. Mhm.
for your highest and greatest good, always. So
Absolutely.
I encourage those that are experiencing that or that have that scenario in their present moment, that there is so many things you can do to engage. And there are even apps that are literally just about making friends. And I'll have to remember what those apps are because I cannot remember the name of it, but I remember Alexa from Interbloom Podcast mentioned it on one of their episodes. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. I didn't know
Mm.
that that existed.
Mm.
And so it's not even a dating app. It's literally an app to just make friends, to go meet people that
Oh, that's cool.
you want to bring into your alignment, right? So yes, I mean there's different ways to go about that. People are, sometimes you can make friends that you work with. Sometimes you can make friends by running into them in a furniture store like I did yesterday. I made a new friend like at a furniture store. I just did not see that coming and it was awesome. Like there's so many different ways that you can just learn to connect. And when you start to shift your focus from being out of alignment with yourself to being more in alignment with yourself, these things naturally just present themselves to you.
Mhm. Mhm.
These opportunities start to attract to your own being. And
Mhm.
that is one of the most magical things that I've personally experienced. So,
I was just thinking about a friend who has been going out on her own, just going to a restaurant or going to a bar and meeting new people that way.
yeah.
I think that that's really cool and that's exciting, just putting yourself out there.
That is.
Another way that I made friends previously was through um, what was it, like kickball, softball, like doing,
Joining group activities.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know that there's knitting groups. I know that there's singles travel groups. There's so many opportunities. There's women's circles.
Yeah.
I imagine that there's men's circles as well, moon circles. Even just going and sitting at the park, you can strike up a conversation with a stranger.
Yeah.
I know that my being an introvert has definitely impacted my drive as well to go out and meet new people. And these past 2 years have given me lots of opportunity to just stay hermitized and stay inside.
Yeah.
And yesterday, like it's not often that I get re energized by being around a group of people, but last night was so special. And even though I need time to recover some of my energy,
Yeah.
like physical energy, my emotional cup is really full right now. And that
That's good.
feels wonderful.
It does. It really does.
And if you feel like you're alone, like you're never alone, first of all, we're always connected. There are other people that feel this too and are searching as well.
That's
So
right.
shine that beacon out there. Maybe just try once, maybe twice.
And just keep going.
Hmm.
Just keep going. I have a slightly opposite I'm a very big extrovert. And
Hmm.
so I do make friends easily. So my point of view is a little
Not
bit.
saying I don't make friends
You do make
easily.
you do make friends easily. You do. So, but for myself personally, I make friends very easily. I connect, with humans very easily. Um, and that's always been. I'm not. You know what? I'm gonna correct that. It wasn't always like that. As a child, as a very young child, I actually was very shy, surprisingly enough. Maybe that's why I'm called Shyra, I don't know. But, like, I had a lot of fear of rejection,
Mhm,
and I remember what my dad had told me. He said, when I was young and I, was crying to him and he was like, "Why aren't you out, playing with your friends?" And I was like, "I don't have any friends." Like, and he said, "So why are you not making friends?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe they just don't like me because I'm different." And I remember what he said. He said, and this has stuck with me the rest of my life, but he had said to me, "Shira, do not let your fear be your driving force of an energy that's so beautiful."
mm,
And it stuck. It just stuck. And it was like something snapped and something changed in me from that point on. And I lessened the care of whether or not someone was going to like me because I just felt like at the end of the day, I'm going to find that group that works with me.
mhm. I
And so
love
it's
it.
just kind of been like that ever since, you know?
I I would be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge that a lot of our fear of not being accepted comes from our own lack of acceptance of ourselves too.
Mm.
So if we're struggling with that, maybe try to find something that you're really proud of in yourself, something about you that is really exciting to you, that you love about yourself. And let's just focus on that and think about how bringing that light into other people's lives and that connection is elevating them in that way.
Yeah,
Mm.
perfect.
All right, y'all. Go find your local friend, your closest one. Give them a call. Try and meet up. Give them a hug. Give them a hug for us too.
And in the spirit of us needing to refill our own physical energetic cup, we're going to make this short.
So we hope that you love first
Love last.
and love always. Y'all have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, listener, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us in this moment. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and we look forward to our next connection.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow to stay notified of new content from Love Always Self. If you have any questions or topics you'd like for us to discuss, please hit us up on any of our social media platforms linked in the show notes below.
I'm Karista.
And I'm Shyra.
And until next time, remember to love first,
Love last,
and love always. Love Always Self podcast is meant for entertainment purposes only. We do not make any warranties about the completeness, reliability, and accuracy of the information presented in this podcast. Any action you choose to take upon the information in this podcast is strictly done so at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses and damages in connection with the use of our podcast. Any and all medical concerns should be addressed with a licensed healthcare provider, as well as any questions that may be derived from the information discussed in this podcast.